The coffee scalded Liam Foster's hand as it splashed across his fingers. But it was the look of horror on the face of the woman who had bumped into him that made him momentarily forget the pain. Her emerald eyes widened with dismay as the hot liquid seeped through his already worn button-up shirt, adding another stain to the collection he'd accumulated while rushing between jobs. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," the woman exclaimed, frantically reaching into her designer handbag for napkins. The contrast between her immaculate appearance and his disheveled one couldn't have been more stark. Her tailored charcoal suit probably cost more than his monthly rent, while he wore the same shirt he'd had on yesterday because he hadn't had time to do laundry between his night shift at the warehouse and taking his daughter to school this morning. "It's fine," Liam mumbled, though it wasn't. The coffee had been his one luxury for the day, a rare treat he'd allowed himself after dropping off 8-year-old Mir at school. Now it was decorating his shirt and the sidewalk outside the downtown coffee shop. The woman's perfectly manicured hands were suddenly pressing napkins against his chest, making Liam step back awkwardly. "Please, let me pay for your dry cleaning," she insisted, her eyes genuinely distressed. "Really, it's not necessary," Liam said, gently pushing her hands away. "This shirt has seen worse days. I insist." She straightened her posture, revealing her full height, which was still several inches shorter than his 6'2" frame. "I'm Katerina Fitzgerald. Most people call me Kate." Liam hesitated. Pride told him to walk away, but practicality reminded him that he couldn't afford new clothes, let alone dry cleaning. "Liam Foster," he finally offered. "Well, Mr. Foster, at the very least let me buy you another coffee," Kate said, gesturing toward the cafe door. A quick glance at his watch made Liam wince. "I appreciate it, but I can't. I'm already running late for work." Another job, another boss who wouldn't accept excuses about coffee spills and chance encounters with beautiful, wealthy women. "Your work doesn't allow coffee breaks?" Kate asked, looking genuinely perplexed. Liam almost laughed. "Not when you're already on thin ice for being late twice this week because your daughter's babysitter canceled." Something in Kate's expression changed, softened. "You have a daughter, Mia, she's 8. The pride in his voice was unmistakable despite his circumstances. Kate reached into her bag and pulled out a business card. "Please take this. I mean it about the dry cleaning. And," she hesitated, "if you ever need a more flexible job, my company is always looking for reliable people." Liam took the card reflexively, noting the embossed logo of Fitzgerald Innovations, one of the city's most prestigious tech companies. He'd read about it in the business section of the newspaper he couldn't afford to subscribe to, but occasionally found left behind on the bus. "Thanks," he said, tucking the card into his pocket, knowing he'd probably never use it. People like Kate Fitzgerald didn't really mix with people like him. The card was just her way of assuaging guilt over a ruined shirt. "I'm serious," Kate said, as if reading his thoughts. "Call me." With a nod, Liam headed off toward his job at the construction site, unaware that the business card burning a hole in his pocket would change the trajectory of his life forever. 3 days later, after being laid off from the construction job due to budget cuts, Liam found himself staring at Kate's business card while sitting at his kitchen table. The apartment was quiet. Mia was at school, and the silence only amplified his growing desperation. His savings would cover rent for maybe another month, but after that, with a deep breath, he dialed the number on the card. "Fitzgerald Innovations, how may I direct your call?" a professional voice answered. I'm calling for Katerina Fitzgerald," Liam said, immediately feeling out of place. "May I ask who's calling?" "Liam Foster. We met. She spilled coffee on me." He winced at how ridiculous it sounded. To his surprise, there was a chuckle from the receptionist. "Ah, Mr. Foster, Miss Fitzgerald left specific instructions to put you through immediately if you called." Before Liam could process this information, Kate's voice came through the line. "Liam, I was beginning to think you'd thrown my card away." "I almost did," he admitted. "I'm glad you didn't. How's your shirt?" "Beyond saving, unfortunately," he said, looking down at the faded blue button-up he was wearing now, one of his 2 remaining presentable shirts. "Then I definitely owe you. Listen, are you free this afternoon? I'd like to discuss a potential position at Fitzgerald Innovations. Liam's heart raced. I could be. My daughter gets out of school at 3. Perfect. Come by the office at 4. Bring your resume if you have one. If not, don't worry, we'll figure something out. The Fitzgerald Innovations building was an imposing glass and steel structure in the heart of downtown. Liam, dressed in his best, and only suit, which was slightly too tight across the shoulders after 5 years of construction work, stood in the lobby feeling like an imposter. He dropped Mia off with his neighbor, Mrs. Rodriguez, who had kindly agreed to watch her until he returned. Kate met him personally in the lobby, looking every bit the successful CEO in a crimson blouse and tailored black pants. Her auburn hair was pulled back in a sleek ponytail, emphasizing her sharp cheekbones and those striking green eyes that had haunted Liam's thoughts more than he cared to admit. "You came," she said with a smile that seemed genuinely pleased. "I did," Liam replied, suddenly very aware of his scuffed shoes and the fraying edge of his suit jacket. Kate led him to her office on the top floor, a spacious room with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. "Coffee," she offered with a smirk. "I promise not to spill it this time." Liam found himself smiling back. "I'd appreciate that." As they settled into comfortable chairs with their drinks, Kate said, "So tell me about yourself, Liam Foster." He gave her the abbreviated version. Former military, honorable discharge 6 years ago, single father to Mia after his wife died from complications during childbirth. A series of jobs in construction, security, and warehousing, whatever paid the bills. "That's quite a resume," Kate said thoughtfully. "You've been through a lot," Liam shrugged. "Life happens, you adapt. And your daughter, what's she like?" The question surprised him. Most potential employers didn't ask about his family life. "Mia's amazing," he said, unable to keep the warmth from his voice. "Smart, curious, always asking questions I can't answer. She loves science and art, which is an interesting combination. She wants to be an astronaut painter so she can make pictures of the stars up close." Kate's laughter was genuine. "I like her already. She sounds like she has a bright future ahead of her." "That's the goal," Liam said seriously. "Everything I do is to make sure she has opportunities I never had." Kate nodded, studying him with those penetrating green eyes. "I have a position in our security department. The hours are consistent, the pay is competitive, and there are full benefits including childcare assistance." Liam's head snapped up at the last part. "Childcare assistance. We have an on-site daycare for employees. It runs until 7 p.m. and includes after-school programs for older children. During school breaks, we offer full-day care." It sounded too good to be true. "Why are you doing this?" Liam asked bluntly. Kate seemed taken aback by the question. "Doing what?" "Offering me a job when you know nothing about me except that I wear coffee-stained shirts and have a daughter." She set her cup down carefully. "Mr. Foster, I run a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't offer jobs to people out of pity or guilt. I've looked into your background. Your military record is exemplary, and you've never been unemployed for more than 2 weeks at a time, despite raising a child alone. That tells me everything I need to know about your work ethic and character." Liam felt a flush of embarrassment. Of course she'd done her homework. "I apologize. It's just been a rough few years." Kate's expression softened. "I understand more than you might think, so are you interested in the position?" 2 weeks later, Liam had settled into his role as part of Fitzgerald Innovations' security team. The job was challenging but rewarding, involving both physical security for the building and consulting on cybersecurity protocols. His military background had included specialized training that made him uniquely qualified, and for the first time in years, he felt like his skills were being put to good use. Mia had adjusted quickly to the company's after-school program, thriving in an environment filled with other children and educational activities. The relief of knowing she was safe and stimulated while he worked lifted an enormous weight from Liam's shoulders. He saw Kate occasionally in the halls or elevator, always exchanging polite greetings. She was unfailingly professional but friendly, asking about Mia and seeming genuinely interested in his answers. Liam tried to ignore the flutter in his stomach whenever their paths crossed, telling himself it was merely gratitude he was feeling. One evening, as Liam was finishing his shift and heading to pick up Mia from the daycare center, Kate stepped into the elevator beside him. "Long day?" she asked, noting his tired expression. "Just focused," Liam replied. "We're implementing the new access protocols this week." Kate nodded. "I read your proposal, it was impressive." "Thank you." He hesitated, then added, "Mia asked about you yesterday." Kate's eyebrows rose. "Oh. She wanted to know if you were a princess because you own a tower made of glass." He smiled at the memory. "I told her you were more of a queen, actually." Kate laughed, the sound echoing in the small elevator. "I'd love to meet her sometime. Properly, I mean." "She'd like that," Liam said, surprised by how much he meant it. The elevator reached the daycare level and the doors opened. "This is me," Liam said. "Actually, I'm headed there too," Kate replied. "I'm doing a check-in with the daycare director about expanding the program." They walked together to the brightly colored entrance of the daycare center, where children's artwork decorated the walls. As soon as they entered, a small whirlwind with dark curls launched herself at Liam. "Daddy," Mia exclaimed, wrapping her arms around his waist. "I made a robot today. It moves and everything." Liam hugged her back, his face transforming with joy. "That's amazing, sweetheart. I can't wait to see it." Mia suddenly noticed Kate standing beside them and grew shy, partially hiding behind her father while peering up at the elegant woman. "You must be Mia," Kate said, crouching down to the girl's level. "I'm Kate. Your dad has told me a lot about you." Mia's brown eyes, so like her father's, widened. "Are you the lady who spilled coffee on Daddy?" Kate's surprised laugh made Mia giggle. "Yes, that was me, not my finest moment." "Daddy said it was fate," Mia said matter-of-factly. Liam felt his face heat up. "I said it was fate that led to my job here," he clarified quickly. Kate's eyes met his, something unspoken passing between them. "I think fate had a very good plan that day," she said softly. Over the next few months, Kate found more and more reasons to check in with the security department. Liam, meanwhile, volunteered for additional projects that required direct reporting to the executive floor. They were both creating excuses to see each other, a dance of mutual attraction neither was quite ready to acknowledge. Their interactions became more personal, more meaningful. Kate learned that Liam spent his Saturdays coaching Mia's soccer team, despite knowing nothing about the sport when he first volunteered. Liam discovered that Kate had built her company from the ground up after leaving an abusive relationship, determined to create a workplace where everyone felt valued and safe. One Friday evening, as Liam was preparing to leave with Mia, his phone rang. It was Mrs. Rodriguez, his elderly neighbor who occasionally watched Mia when the daycare was closed. Her grandson was in the hospital, and she needed to go be with him. "Is everything okay?" Kate asked, noticing his worried expression as they happened to meet in the parking garage. "Just a childcare issue," Liam explained. "My backup sitter had an emergency and I'm supposed to attend a security conference tomorrow. I'll have to cancel." "What about Mia?" Kate asked, looking at the little girl who was happily drawing in a sketchbook, perched on the hood of Liam's aging sedan. "She'll come with me to the conference, I guess. It's not ideal, but I could watch her," Kate offered, then looked surprised at her own suggestion. Liam stared at her. But it's Saturday, don't you have? I don't know millionaire things to do," Kate smiled. "Contrary to popular belief, we don't all have secret millionaire meetings on weekends. Besides, I've been wanting to spend more time with Mia. We could have a girls' day." Liam hesitated. It was one thing to work for Kate, but having her babysit his daughter felt like crossing a line he wasn't sure they should cross. "Please, Daddy," Mia piped up, having overheard the conversation. "Kate could see my robot collection, and we could paint galaxies like I've been practicing." Looking at his daughter's excited face and Kate's hopeful one, Liam found himself agreeing. The next morning, he dropped Mia off at Kate's penthouse apartment, trying not to gape at the luxurious space with its panoramic city views and modern artwork. Mia had no such reservations, immediately exploring with wide-eyed wonder. "We'll be fine," Kate assured him, seeing his nervousness. "I've got art supplies, science experiments, and enough snacks to feed a small army." "She likes her crusts cut off her sandwiches," Liam said, handing over Mia's backpack. And if she gets tired, she has her stuffed elephant in here. She won't admit she's tired, but if she gets cranky, Liam, Kate interrupted gently, placing a hand on his arm. I've got this. Go to your conference. We'll have fun. When Liam returned that evening, he found his daughter and Kate on the floor of the living room, surrounded by what appeared to be the remains of a volcano experiment. They were both laughing, and Kate's perfect hair was dusted with something that looked suspiciously like baking soda. Daddy, Mia exclaimed, we made 5 volcanoes, and we painted constellations, and Kate knows all about black holes and quantum physics. Kate looked up, her face flushed with excitement and a smudge of paint on her cheek. In that moment, with her designer clothes rumpled and her makeup slightly smeared, she had never looked more beautiful to Liam. I hope you don't mind, Kate said, gesturing to the creative chaos around them. We got a little carried away. Mind, this looks amazing, Liam said truthfully. What did you do to my daughter? She's practically vibrating with excitement. We might have had ice cream for lunch, Kate admitted with a conspiratorial wink at Mia, who giggled uncontrollably. And we're having pizza for dinner, Mia announced. Kate already ordered it. You're staying, right, Daddy? Liam looked at Kate questioningly. I don't want to impose more than we already have. Please stay, Kate said, her voice softer than usual. I've had the best day. Over pizza, the 3 of them talked and laughed like old friends. Mia eventually dozed off on Kate's plush sofa, clutching her stuffed elephant, exhausted from the day's activities. As Liam gently covered his daughter with a throw blanket, Kate watched from the kitchen doorway, 2 glasses of wine in her hands. She's remarkable, Kate said, handing him a glass as they moved to sit at the kitchen island, where they could still see Mia sleeping peacefully. You're doing an incredible job with her. Some days I'm not so sure, Liam admitted, taking a sip of the wine that probably cost more than his weekly grocery budget. I worry that she's missing out by not having a mother. From what I can see, she's not missing out on anything, Kate said firmly. She's loved, secure, and happy. That's what matters. They talked late into the night, sharing stories from their pasts, dreams for their futures. The professional boundaries that had kept them at a distance began to dissolve, replaced by something more genuine, more intimate. Can I ask you something personal? Kate said, refilling their glasses. After everything you did for Mia today, you can ask me anything, Liam replied. Why haven't you dated since your wife died? Mia mentioned that it's always been just the 2 of you. Liam was quiet for a moment. At first, it was grief. Then it was just survival, working multiple jobs, taking care of Mia. Dating seemed like a luxury I couldn't afford. He looked directly at Kate. And to be honest, most women aren't interested in a package deal with an instant child. Some women would consider that the best part of the package, Kate said softly, the air between them charged with unspoken possibilities. Liam's phone chimed, breaking the moment. It's late, he said, checking the time. I should get Mia home to bed. You could stay, Kate suggested, then quickly added, I have 3 guest rooms. You both look so comfortable and it's already past midnight. Liam should have said no. It would have been the sensible thing to do. Instead, he found himself agreeing, and Kate showed him to a guest room adjacent to where Mia was already sleeping. The domesticity of the situation, Kate lending him a toothbrush, showing him how to work the shower's complicated controls, felt both strange and surprisingly right. The next morning, Liam woke to the smell of coffee and the sound of giggles. Following the noise, he found Kate and Mia in the kitchen, making pancakes shaped like stars and rockets. They were both still in pajamas, Mia in hers from her backpack, and Kate in silk pajamas that somehow managed to look elegant even with a dusting of flour. Daddy, Mia called when she spotted him. Kate's teaching me how to flip pancakes in the air. I already dropped 3, but that's okay because we made extras. Good morning, Kate said, her smile shy as she handed him a cup of coffee. Their fingers brushed, and Liam felt that now familiar flutter in his chest. After breakfast, as they were preparing to leave, Mia asked the question that had been inevitably building. Can we come back next weekend? Kate said she has a telescope on the roof and we can look at real stars. Liam looked at Kate, who seemed as hopeful as Mia. That depends on whether Kate has plans, he said carefully. My only plan was hoping you'd both come back, Kate admitted, and so began a new routine. Weekends with Kate became the highlight of their weeks. They explored museums, went hiking, visited the planetarium for Mia's love of space. Kate joined them for Mia's soccer games, cheering louder than anyone when Mia finally scored her first goal. At work, they maintained their professional relationship, but everyone noticed the change. The way Liam's face lit up when Kate entered a room. The way Kate found reasons to visit the security department. The rumors spread, but neither of them cared. 3 months after that first weekend, as they sat on Kate's rooftop terrace watching the stars while Mia slept inside, Liam finally voiced what had been growing between them. "I think I'm falling in love with you," he said simply. Kate turned to him, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "I think I fell the moment you refused to let me pay for your dry cleaning," she replied, moving closer. Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, and perfect. When they finally pulled apart, Kate rested her forehead against his. "What about Mia?" she whispered. "I don't want to disrupt her life if this doesn't. She already loves you," Liam interrupted. "And I know you love her. That's all that matters to me." "I do love her," Kate confirmed. "Almost as much as I love her father." 6 months later, Liam and Mia moved into Kate's penthouse. The transition was surprisingly smooth. Mia was thrilled to have her own art room and access to the building's swimming pool, while Liam adjusted to sharing his life with someone who genuinely wanted to be a partner in all things, including parenting. There were adjustments, of course. Kate had to learn that her wealth couldn't solve every problem, especially when it came to Liam's pride. Liam had to accept that allowing Kate to share her resources wasn't charity but love. They argued, compromised, and grew stronger together. A year after the coffee spill that brought them together, Liam proposed on the same street corner where they'd first met. Kate, in tears, said yes before he could even finish asking the question. Their wedding was small and intimate, with Mia serving as both flower girl and best daughter, as she insisted on being called. During the ceremony, Kate included special vows to Mia, promising to always respect her place as Liam's daughter while hoping to earn a place in her heart as well. "You already have," Mia had whispered loudly, causing the entire gathering to laugh through their tears. 2 years later, Kate and Liam welcomed twins, a boy and a girl they named Thomas and Lily. Mia took her role as big sister seriously, reading to the babies every night and explaining scientific concepts they couldn't possibly understand yet. Fitzgerald Innovations continued to thrive under Kate's leadership, with Liam eventually heading the entire security division. They established a foundation focused on supporting single parents, providing childcare, job training, and housing assistance. Liam ran the foundation's day-to-day operations, finding fulfillment in helping others who had once been in his position. On the 5th anniversary of their first meeting, as they sat on their terrace watching Mia teach the twins about constellations through a child-sized telescope, Kate handed Liam a cup of coffee. "Careful," she teased. "I have a history of spilling these things." Liam took the cup, his free hand finding hers. "Best spill of my life," he said, kissing her knuckles. "Do you ever think about how different things would have been if I hadn't bumped into you that day?" Kate asked, watching their children with contentment in her eyes. "I think we would have found each other anyway," Liam said confidently. "Some things are just meant to be." Kate leaned against his shoulder, her auburn hair now showing a few strands of silver that she refused to color, saying they were earned through happiness. The woman who had once seemed untouchable in her wealth and success now sat comfortably in worn jeans and one of Liam's old T-shirts, looking more beautiful to him than ever. "Daddy, Kate, look," Mia called excitedly. "I found Jupiter, come see." They joined their children at the telescope, the family they had built together from an unlikely beginning. As Liam watched Kate patiently explaining planetary rotations to the twins, while Mia adjusted the telescope settings with expert precision, he reflected on the journey that had brought them here. From a struggling single dad with a coffee-stained shirt to a man with a fulfilling career, a loving wife, and 3 incredible children, all because of a chance encounter and a spilled coffee. Life had a funny way of working out sometimes, delivering its greatest gifts in the most unexpected packages. Later that night, after the children were asleep, Liam and Kate Slow danced in their living room to no music, just enjoying the quiet moment together. "Thank you," Liam whispered against her hair. "For what?" Kate asked, looking up at him. "For spilling coffee on me. For taking a chance on a guy who couldn't even afford dry cleaning. For loving Mia, for everything." Kate's smile illuminated her entire face. "Thank you for letting me into your world. You and Mia gave me something I never knew. I was missing, a family built on love instead of obligation or appearance." "We've come a long way from that sidewalk," Liam observed. "And we have so much further to go," Kate replied, standing on tiptoe to kiss him. As they held each other in the quiet of their home, surrounded by the evidence of the life they'd built together, both reflected on how a single moment, a bumped elbow, a spilled coffee had changed everything. Some might call it chance, others fate. Liam and Kate simply called it the beginning of their love story, one that continued to unfold in beautiful, unexpected ways with each passing day.